By now, you've surely heard the news that Sony is closing the PlayStation Store down on the PS3, PS Vita, and PSP respectively, but you might not know what to do in the meantime. We have until August 27th to scoop these games on the DL, or you're going to have to pay the physical prices of these games, and some of them are freaking insane. What are we drinking
today? We're drinking Cicada Killer by Barntown. This is a barrel-aged Imperial Stout with coconuts.
Sounds delicious. You know the drill. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring that bell icon so you never miss one of our bi-weekly uploads. And sit back, relax, pour yourself a beer if you care to, and let's talk about the games that you probably need to get right quick and in a hurry on the PlayStation 3 Store.
Hey everybody, I'm Chronik Spartan, and one of my favourite things to do is grabbing a good beer, kicking off my shoes, relaxing my socks, and watching one of my favourite YouTube channels, Gaming Off the Grid. Cheers.
So we know there's tons of videos out there about the PlayStation 3 store closing, Vita store, PSP store, blah, blah, blah. We're going to hone in on the PS3, but we're going to talk about games that are some of our favorite games and that are a lot more expensive in physical form, and then some games that are just going to be gone forever if you don't act now.
Yes, so let's just jump in because we're going to talk about a lot of games today.
Yeah.
And let's start off with the game that actually started this whole idea for the episode, because it's our favorite franchise, and this game is going to be gone forever once the store closes, and that's House of the Dead 4.
Yeah.
Which sucks. You can only get this game digital, and it's such a fun game. So this game, I think, is $9.99 at the store. I don't know for sure because
we have it downloaded.
We have it downloaded, and also the store is glitchy right now.
Yeah.
Guys. Like, it doesn't show you the prices. It does have the main menu, but then when you click on the game, it doesn't. But then you have to click on the thumbnail to, like, it's very weird.
When you first get on, you're not going to see a way to purchase it, so it almost seems like you can't.
Yeah, we thought the store was actually closed.
You got to click on the thumbnail of the game, but it doesn't even look like you're highlighted on that.
No, it doesn't highlight the thumbnail. It's so weird.
It is goofy, but once you do it, you'll figure it out. But the game then automatically goes into your cart, even though you hadn't seen the price yet.
Yeah, it's really frustrating.
Kind of goofy, but House of the Dead 4 is only available in arcades and digitally on the PS3. It never got a 360 release.
Yeah, and it's such a phenomenal game, and if you're a fan of the whole franchise and you want to get like a bundle, they do offer a bundle that's House of the Dead 3, House of the Dead 4, House of the Dead Overkill for $29.99, which I think is a great deal.
And if you guys are arcade enthusiasts and go out to barcades and things like that, it's very rare to see House of the Dead 4.
Yeah.
You always see 1 and 2.
I don't think I've seen 4 in a couple years.
Yeah, I mean, we seen 3 when we were in Seattle, I believe.
Yes, and it was badass.
But I can't remember the last time I saw 4 in the arcade. So it's not only rare to find in the arcade, but the only console you can play it on is a PS3. Strike the iron while it's hot. If you're a light gun game fan, if you're a House of the Dead fan, House of the Dead 4 is looking like it's going to be gone forever. Now, I'm sure with everything we talk about, there's a way to emulate. But for the casual gamer...
We're casual.
That's trying to hook stuff up and play at home and don't know how to go about getting ROMs and stuff, which the PS3 is a bitch to emulate anyways, this is the way to get it. And you've got until August 27th of 2021.
To get all these games, which seems like it's far away, but it's not, guys. This year's flying by. We're already in April, so, like, it's going to come sooner than you think, and you're like, fuck, I missed those games.
So moving right along to a series that started on the PS3, Infamous.
Yeah, a fantastic series.
Infamous 1 and 2, I think goes without saying. They were super well received exclusives on the PS3. It was a superhero genre game that was very unique at the time, and they're really fun games. I didn't really like the one that came out on PS4, Second Son. It just didn't resonate with me as well.
But the first two are amazing.
But nonetheless, there's a game called Festival of Blood. It is basically an expansion or DLC on Infamous 2.
Yes, it's about 4 to 5 hours to beat, and this DLC or expansion is only $4.99, and you don't have to have the other two to play it.
Which is unique, because a lot of expansions you have to have the game.
Yeah, you have to have the game, which is really cool. So that's $4.99, but you can get this with the bundle, which comes with the game, it comes with the first one, and that's pretty cool, and that's only $14.99 for the bundle.
We wouldn't really recommend doing that, because you can if you want, but I think that's a little rich, because then you're looking at $10 for Infamous 1 and 2, and you can find those games in the wild really freaking cheap. We actually have a couple copies we just nabbed for $1 a piece. I wouldn't pay that for the bundle, but for Infamous Festival of Blood, I think $4.99.
And that's the only way to get it, which sucks. Now let's move on to a phenomenal series that started on the PS2, and this version is not in any collection.
Yeah, it's weird. So Ratchet Deadlocked for whatever reason, was left off of the HD remaster collection on the PS3.
Yeah, it was the only PS2 Ratchet & Clank game that wasn't part of the collection. It's very weird. It doesn't make any sense. But Deadlocked is $9.99, and it's the HD version of the game, and it's awesome.
Yeah, and the only way you can get that is on the PS3 because they left it off the physical disc for some reason. Not sure why. Then you're a really big puzzle game fan.
Yes, and I'm so excited to try this game.
Yeah, so Trash Panic is a game that I remember when it came out being really cool, very unique. It kind of had a little bit of a cult following, a little bit of a buzz around it. $4.99, puzzle game fans, I think you'll really enjoy this one, and it's super cheap, and the only way to get it, it's download only on the PS3.
It's only digital. That's really cheap, guys.
Yeah.
So pick that up while you can. Now moving on to a franchise that we do love.
Yeah, so
a lot.
You guys like Contra, right? I think most people that watch our channel like Contra. We love Contra. Hardcore Uprising doesn't have the Contra name, but it was published by Konami, and it's supposed to be the prequel to kind of the whole Contra story.
Which is really cool. It is also available on the 360, which hasn't been announced that they're closing, but I'm guessing they're following suit.
Yeah.
But this is only $9.99, we think, because we already have it downloaded.
Yeah. So it's somewhere probably between $4.99 and $9.99. But Contra fans, if you haven't played Hardcore Uprising, it's a really freaking good game. Probably, I would say House of the Dead 4 and that are my favorite two downloadable games on the PS3. It's really good.
There is a third one that I do want to mention that isn't available anymore. It was available, but they took it off a while ago, and that's NBA Jam on Fire Edition.
Yeah.
That's kind of the beginning of the ball of this whole store getting shut down, you know?
It was just gone.
Plucked it away without telling anyone.
Yep. And it's still available on Xbox One, Series X, and Xbox 360, but
for
on
Sony
Fire
fans,
Edition. Yeah. Now, if you had purchased it before, you can still download it, but someone looking for it new, not going to happen.
Good luck.
So, that's some of the games on the PS3. There's plenty more.
Oh, there's so many.
And the Vita and PSP have tons as well. We're not huge handheld enthusiasts or fans, so I don't even think it's worth your guys' time us talking about those. We do have a PSP and a Vita, but these are games that we're really honed in on the PS3 that we really, really like and think, man, folks probably need to grab these before they're gone. But now we're going to move into some games that are more retro, PS1, PS2, and these are games, obviously, that are available in physical form on the PS1 and PS2.
But we think the value of these games, compared to the physical counterparts, this is the way to go if you don't want to spend the money for the physical. Obviously, we're huge physical media fans, and we have most of these physical that we can. Some of them are way too expensive. But if you are on a budget or you don't care about that, this is the way to go, because a lot of these are dirt cheap and you still get to experience the game.
As big of physical media fans as we are, there's some games on this list that there's no way in hell we would pay that price for.
No, unless we flip enough video games.
So Mega Man fans, Mega Man Legends 1 and 2 is available. It's a PlayStation 1 classic on the PS3. These classic games, for whatever reasons, not available on the PS4. Is Sony going to reinvent the wheel and make that happen on the PS4 and PS5 store? We don't know. But as of right now,
they're not.
You get both these games for $9.99, and Mega Man Legends 1's $44 complete in box, and Mega Man Legends 2 is $108 CIB.
So the prices that we're calling for physical are from PriceCharting.com.
Yep.
So obviously it fluctuates, and you can find stuff in the wild. This is just, we had to pick a site, and that's what we went with for these prices. So.
Silent Hill fans.
Oh, phenomenal game.
Love the Silent Hill series, but I'm telling you, as much as I love it, I wouldn't pay $172 for Silent Hill on PS1.
Almost $200.
Yeah.
And guess what? You can get it for $5.99 on the PS3 store right now before August.
Yeah, it's a pretty good deal. Xenogears, $9.99. 137 CIB.
Parasite Eve.
1 and 2. Adam before Eve, except after Steve.
Except after Parasite Eve.
Yeah, there you go. Both these games are $5.99. CIB Parasite Eve runs you about $66. $97 for Parasite Eve 2. I love Parasite Eve, but I've only ever dabbled. I've never owned Parasite Eve 2.
Weird.
It's sad. Yeah. It actually kind of makes me want to get this before it closes, just because I wouldn't pay.
We have time.
Yeah, I wouldn't pay $100 for it. But I love the first game. But maybe I need to paint myself into a corner and be like, you need to replay the first game before August 27th so that you can download the second game.
You can download it and play it later.
But sometimes I like a challenge.
Okay.
The clock is ticking.
The clock is ticking.
Or do you, Hulk Hogan, face that challenge that may be more powerful than even you are, Hulk Hogan?
Let's jump into the PS2.
Yes.
And there's more PS1 games.
Obviously, there's so many.
Tons.
There's amazing, but we try to go with the ones that we know and the ones that are insane in price, physical,
and that we really like, and that are important games in our history as gamers. So we're leaving a ton of meat on the bone here. But what I would recommend is you go through and just look at the PS1 games available. If you want it, grab it. If you don't, then whatever. But we're just getting the ball rolling.
Trying to help you.
Yeah.
Be like, hey, look at these prices, man.
So some dingers on PS2. We've talked about Fatal Frame several times on the channel.
Yeah, we love that series.
Fatal Frame 1 through 3, all $9.99 on the PS3 store. And these games are right around that $40 complete in box mark. They're a lot more expensive on Xbox.
Yeah, which isn't that bad, but for a PS2 game, that's still pricey.
Yeah.
But if you put it in perspective, a PS5 game is $70. Mm-hmm. And I'd rather play Fatal Frame than a lot of the new games.
We're just suckers for Fatal Frame. Although we've only played through, I think, what, 2 of the games, I believe?
Yeah.
We had two and then Maiden of Blackwater.
Which the Wii
so
U
we need
version.
to do our homework and play 1 and 3.
We will eventually.
We will.
It's not October yet.
Yeah, I mean, well, all that, and I mean, we're just young boys. We have our whole lives ahead of us. I mean,
we got our whole lives ahead of us.
Yeah.
You can do anything you put your mind to.
Which maybe play some people.
Which is Fatal Frame. That's all I want to do.
God Hand. This game's so silly how expensive it's gotten. The game's like $120 complete in box. It's $9.99 on the PlayStation 3 store.
That's a sweet game.
You guys know we love our shooters. I think Gradius on the NES was maybe our best shooter in our shmups.
That's
way back when.
Way back when. It might still be number 1. I'm not sure. I'd have to think about that. But Gradius is an amazing franchise.
Gradius 5, I think, is arguably the best entry in the series. The game is running like $65 complete in box right
expensive.
now.
So we own it, which is nice.
Yeah, we got it on the cheap. I think I got that at the Goodwill or something.
And you were like,
Manual's not in it, but the disc is minty. I just need a Gradius 5 manual at some point.
We'll find one at a con.
Yeah, we will someday, because we're rifling through all the shitty game manuals, and there's like, boom! Yeah, let's go.
And then he goes, okay, that's $50.
Yeah, and we're like, yeah, suck it. Yeah, we keep saying $9.99, $9.99. That's what all these games are. Gradius 5 for $9.99 is a steal of a deal. And if you don't have to have that physical, $9.99 to $63 is a pretty big swing.
And I know we're talking about the PS3 right now, but at the filming of this, R-Type Final 2 demo is available.
Yeah.
I just want to throw that. If you have a PS4 and we played it,
breaking news.
It's fun.
You heard it here first,
It's
folks.
fun. But we're not talking about that. Sorry, I just had to throw that in there.
Yeah,
it's fun.
Because you're excited. We're going to play it after this.
Yeah. So now let's move on to the last game in our PS2 list. We've talked about this game at nauseam on the channel, and that's the Red Star.
Yep.
This game's also expensive on the PS2. It's around that $40 range, which isn't that much, but it's still expensive.
Yeah.
$9.99 as well.
Yep.
For a phenomenal co-op beat-em-up shooter, blah, 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 blah. It has so many different genres in it, but it's amazing.
Yeah, so again, super cheap option, and the weird part is there are some PS2 games that are available on the PS4. Like Red Faction has that like remake, which is annoying because you can't play 4-player. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember we downloaded it because we were like, oh, yes!
Yeah.
And then you can't do it.
But anyway, PS3 tends to be the hub of where you could play old PlayStation 1 and PS2 games and download them from the store.
Yeah, the PS4, does it even offer PS1 games?
Well, I
think... Is there a select few?
I think it's a little different. So what we're talking about is being able to download the games. The PlayStation Now, or whatever that is, with games where you can stream, we don't pay for that. So Lord only knows what's available there.
I actually didn't even know what that was till you just brought it up right now.
Yeah, so we've never went down that. Guys, we watch TV from rabbit ears. We watch VHS tapes. We don't pay for streaming services. I think we have WWE Network, and it's split amongst like 7 people. So it's
that's just how we do things.
But we're cheapskates, basically, is what we're getting at. But as far as downloading and not relying on it being on a streaming service or playing through ROMs or finding a way to hack consoles, things like this, I think it's time to strike the iron while it's hot between now and August 27th.
Yes. Some of these games are going to be gone forever.
And you can download the games on multiple PS3s. So this is the PS3 we play in the game room. But it's it's an old boy.
Yeah.
We've got a really nice Slim with a larger hard drive that we've also downloaded
we have it on 2, and then we have, that's the way to go. But a lot of people don't have 2 PS3s, so...
We're kind of weird like that. But anyways, I think you got to strike the iron while it's hot here, guys. The PS3 store is going away for freaking ever. It's so weird that they can just do this. The drawbacks of digital media. We could go on and on. We've done videos about it in the past.
Yeah, we've done a lot of videos on that.
Yeah.
So we're not going to beat that dead horse.
But
let's talk about...
It's right here in front of our face.
let's talk about the Dead Cicada.
Ooh.
The Cicada Killer.
Yeah.
By Barntown. This is a barrel-aged Imperial Stout with coconut. We love Barntown.
Yeah. I'm
So-
gonna add some more to my glass
Yeah.
while you tell us what you think of this brew.
This beer is so good. It's so smooth. It's so, like, creamy. It lingers. There's not a burn, but you can taste the alcohol, if that makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
there's no burn, but you can taste... You get a slight hint of coconut. This is very good, and I think this is like double digits percentage wise. So it's like it's a dangerous beer because it's
Yeah.
an easy drinker, and but it is thick, so it's
Yeah.
I'm not like chugging it.
No,
you know?
it's more of a dessert beer, I would say, or really close to that. Barntown Brewing. Worst part about doing this brewery on the channel is it's so localized they don't even distribute. But it's
Yeah.
kind of weird. I don't think they even really need to because they have such a buzz around them.
No, dude. Every time I go there, they're packed.
And when they post about a new beer,
it's
people
gone,
go.
It's gone immediately.
Yeah. So that's the only frustrating part because we wish we could share this with you. But this brewery, they just deliver time and time again, and it's like almost every beer I have from them is my new favorite from them.
Yeah, because it's like they're so good at different styles too.
Yeah.
Where it's like this is an amazing imperial stout,
Yep.
and then they'll put out an amazing dessert sour. Then I'm like, oh
Yeah.
my god, pastry sour,
Yep,
and then
yep.
like they have really good IPAs. So it's like they're good at everything. They're slowly becoming one of my favorite breweries in Iowa.
I think they are my favorite brewery in Iowa, and I know for you because you're more the IPA guy. I will say Toppling Goliath does IPAs way better than
But
Barntown.
Barntown
But man,
has-
the stout game for Barntown is and almost
The
the sour game anymore.
yeah, they've kind of taken the spot of exile for
Yeah,
the sours,
yeah.
but it's a unique sour. There is a couple of breweries that I just found out about that we haven't tried yet, though.
Okay.
So,
well,
just saying.
we'll talk about that after this episode. But guys, the PS3, it's a weird time. We've already seen that this can happen. It's going to continue to happen.
Yep.
The Wii Shop closed. It's been a couple years ago, but there were so many Wii Shop exclusives that are gone forever.
Yeah, all the WiiWare games, all that. There's a lot of cool
the
stuff.
Rebirth games, Castlevania, Contra Rebirth, there's a Gradius Rebirth.
Yeah, there's Gradius Rebirth. Yeah.
Tons of others.
So many cool
that
things.
are gone. Now, again, don't hit us up in the comment section unless you want us to just say you're a fucking idiot. We know you can get a lot of these games and find ways to play them other ways, but man, just being able to have them on a console and then you paid for them and then you don't have access to them anymore. That's a big problem. You don't own these games. We're renting real estate basically.
We really are.
In this digital space.
And then they go, oh, sorry, we gotta tear this down so we can put in a hotel. You know? So like,
yeah, it's a weird time that we're living in, and it's just going to continue to happen. You know, the Wii Shop was kind of that first major shoe to drop that was like, oh shit, okay, this is the drawbacks of digital media or digital video games. Now we have the PS3, the Vita, and the PSP, which I think is a bigger deal than the Wii closing.
a lot bigger.
It won't be long. We already, have done a video on this. The Wii U eShop is going to close. It's just going to happen.
And then the 360 is probably going to close
Yeah,
as well. But
you know-
Xbox is doing a very good job of, backwards compatibility
They are.
and having the Game Pass and all that other stuff.
I'm
So
curious to see how long the Xbox, because
you think it will last a little bit longer?
I do. Microsoft just seems to be an open book at this point.
True.
They've got the backwards compatibility thing really on lock right now, which is so weird because Sony invented it.
Yeah, Sony started it.
I feel like, anyways, but it's just a weird time. So these are the games we think you should get out and grab before you can't. And even though we love physical media, when there's some of these options because of either price discrepancy or it's the only way you can freaking play the
like
game.
House of the Dead 4, guys.
I mean, House of the Dead 4, it just pisses me off that there's an option that someday, unless we can find it in the arcade, that we wouldn't be able to play that game.
Well, here's what's making me sad is it's one of my favorite franchises of all time. And 4 is a digital download only. The newest one is only in arcade, Scarlet Dawn. But they're not, readily available,
Yeah.
so, it's becoming a franchise that's slowly becoming obsolete.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously 1 and 2 are still out there, but, for new generation, they're not going to know what this is, and it's not
exactly.
going to,
And how many people have we played, Overkill with, or whatever, or at the arcades, played a House of the Dead game with, but they get into it, and they're like, dude, this is awesome.
And it's amazing, and they would just walk right past
And
it.
that's why I love the series so much. It's just good fun. So anyway, the House of the Dead one really is the one on here that hits closest to home.
Yeah,
But the rest of
started
these,
this fall.
they matter as well, and I think we're probably going to go out and get the Fatal Frame games.
Oh, that's a good idea. Play him in this
Yeah.
October, maybe.
There you go. All right, guys, we always appreciate you tuning in, subscribing to the channel. You better jump on your PS3 before, it doesn't really serve a purpose other than to play discs. We'll see you next time, right here on Gaming Off the Grid. And fuck digital media.
Ooh, I like that.
But as we've been scrolling around the internet, we've never really seen blah, blah, blah.
And this version is not in any collection.
Yeah, it's weird. So Ratchet Dreadlocked. By now, you've probably heard the news that Sony is pulling support for the PlayStation. The reason was left off of the HD remaster collection on the PS3.
Yeah, it was the only PS2 Ratchet and Clank. Ratchet and Clank.
And it's time to act now and snag some games on the DL on the PS3 Store. Why you still can? Why?
Why you still can? Why you still can?
God dang it! All right. The drawbacks of physical media. If you ever want to see videos where we've talked about that, I mean, we've done a few.
We've done a few of them,
but
so we're not gonna be the dead horse.
Did I say the drawbacks of? All right, you know the drill. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring that bell icon so you never miss one of our bowel movements. Yeah, never miss one of our stinky bowel movements.
Kind of OnlyFans.
All right.